In this problem of compound interest, we'll be learning how to find the sum of money if the interest for any of the year exceeds. The question here is, the sum of money is lent at 8% per annum compound interest if the interest for the second year exceeds that for the first year by rupees 96. Find the sum of money. See here that the interest for the second year exceeds that for the first year by rupees 96. So we have to find the sum of money. Let's see how can we solve this problem. Let us assume and let us take principal as rupees 100. Here we have to assume it, okay? Because the principal is not mentioned, so we have to assume principal to be rupees 100. Now we'll find the interest for the first year as we have assumed principal to be rupees 100 time 1 year and rate as given in the question is 8% per annum. So we will find interest using the formula PTR by 100. We'll just replace the values. After replacing and after calculating the values of principal, time and rate, we get the interest as rupees 8. So therefore amount will be, you know how to find amount, right? Principal plus interest. So the amount will be rupees 100 plus 8, and that is rupees 108. So amount at the end of the first year is rupees 108. The next step that we have to find is the interest for the second year. Now you know that principal of the present year will be the amount of the previous year. So principal that we have got now is 108 rupees time 1 year and rate as 8%. We'll find interest using the formula PTR by 100. We'll just replace the values. So when you calculate PTR by 100, we will get the interest for the second year as rupees 8 and 64 paise. So 8 rupees 64 paise is the interest for the second year. We'll be finding amount at the end of second year. The formula is principal plus interest. We will just write down the values for principal plus interest. So after we write down the values of principal plus interest and add it, we will get the amount as rupees 116 and 64 paise. So the amount at the end of second year is rupees 116 and 64 paise. So this was the amount at the end of the second year. Now what do we have to find? The difference between the interests for the second and first year. We will be finding the difference for the second year, difference between the interest for the second and the first year. So what we'll write down is the interest for the second year and first year. So we'll just subtract the interest for the second year and the interest for the first year. We have found that the interest for the second year is 8 rupees 64 paise and the interest for the first year was rupees 8. When we subtract it, we will get the answer as 64 paise. Okay, 64 paise. So difference between the interest for the second and the first year is 64 paise. What is given? It is given in the question that the interest for the second year exceeds the first year by rupees 96. Okay, and we found that the difference of the interest between first and second year using principal as 100 is 64 paise. So when the difference between the interests is 64 paise, when did we get the 64 paise? When we took principal as rupees 100. Okay, so when the difference between the interest is rupees 96, that is given in the question, we have to find how much was the principal. When we took principal as rupees 100, we got the difference as 64 paise, and we'll replace the value given in the question, that is the difference, right, exceeds, that's the difference of the interest is 96. So how will we calculate principal? Principal will be calculated by multiplying 96 into 100 divided by the interest that we found taking principal as rupees 100. When we solve this, we will get the answer as rupees 15,000. That means the principal was rupees 15,000. Let me explain to you this once again. Right, I was saying that the principal will be rupees 15,000, right, when the difference exceeds 96 rupees given in the question. I'll just explain to you over here. The difference between the interest is rupees 64 paise, right, when the principal is rupees 100, and the difference between the interest is rupees 96, that is given in the question. So what do we have to find? We have to find principal. So let us take principal as x rupees, and what we are going to do is we'll cross multiply here. I hope all of you know how do we cross multiply. So we will multiply x into 0.64, right, x into 0.64, that is x into 64 paise, which is equal to, we'll be cross multiplying 100 into 96, or 96 into 100. So what are we going to do next? We have to make x as the subject. Okay, what is x? We have written x for the principal. So the x or principal, we have made x as the subject, so it will be equal to 96 into 100 divided by 64 paise. You know the rule that when we take any number to the other side, if it's a multiplier, it becomes a division. So when you solve this 96 into 100 by 64 paise, you will get the answer as rupees 15,000. Alright, so practice, and there is a homework here. I hope you can do this homework. So keep practicing, and there's a homework for you. A sum of money is lent at 6% per annum compound interest. If the interest for the second year exceeds that for the first year by rupees 144, you have to find the sum of money. Just go back to the video and see it again and do this.